And we are back. Alrighty. This video is going to be a little different. Yeah, drive by with your shitty country music playing, dude. Nobody cares. As some of you know, I haven't made a video in a while. It's been probably over a month. I have to look. But it's been a while since I made a video. The last video I made was when I pulled the engine out. And you can see there hasn't been a lot of progress. I did get the plate cut out to cover the firewall. As you can see, I've been grinding. I ground down all the studs, got rid of those. I still need to do a couple down there. I've got the firewall sanded, ready to hit it with some primer. Once I do a few more things, I got to fix the rust spot down there. But this isn't really a month's worth of work. This is probably about an afternoon's worth of work, maybe a little bit longer. I get people asking me all the time about progress on this. And I always say, I'm working on it, I'm working on it. Well, the truth is, a lot of times I'm not working on it. This is kind of a deviating from my usual video format. I'm going to get kind of personal here. My entire life I've battled with depression. Like really bad depression, like dark depression. And it cycles up and down. It's specifically bipolar depression with some OCD. And a characteristic of that is you get these real big creative highs, this mania where you're up at, like famously I was up one night at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of my old apartment building an office desk, which is now the massive gargantuan office desk that's in my office. Building that off the top of my head just because I had to get it out of my brain into like the physical world. And then other times it manifests itself in deep dark lows, like the kind of lows where I can barely get off the couch. It takes all the energy I have to get off the couch. And the downside of that is I lose complete and total interest in what could, sometimes from hour to hour have been completely excited about, like this truck. And that's why there's times where, I'll go and I'll just make large leaps in progress, and I'll do this and I'll do that, and I'll get things done on it. And then it seems like progress just falls off, for going on over a month now. And that's because mentally I just completely lose interest and I can't focus on it. I just have no desire, no drive to work on it. And it's not really anything I can control. I try to come out and work on it. I try to force myself sometimes, like I did this firewall, and sometimes I just can't do it. There's times where I just walk past this truck and I'm like, fuck that truck. I don't care about working on it. And there's other times where I'm out here, scrutinizing over the littlest detail. And it's just a constant battle going back and forth from, being interested to not interested, and other things happen. Life gets in the way. I haven't done any videos on it yet, but I did sell my daily driver Dakota, which was a 2001 four-wheel drive with a 4.7. And I did buy this 2018 Honda Civic Si turbo 6-speed. It's a fun little car. But no, the whole purpose of this video is to explain why I've been absent and why I haven't been making videos as of late. Um, I'd like to say, I'll be right back on it. Next Friday or this Friday I'll have a video, and I can't. I can't do that. I can't say that because next Friday I might be completely unable to do that, for a lack of a better term. I do love this project. I get people asking me all the time why I work on this project, why I spend as much money on a fucking Dodge Dakota, why I don't buy, something else, why I could go build an S10 and yeah, it'd be, 800 pounds lighter from the get-go and infinitely easier to swap and there'd actually be parts available for it and blah, blah, blah. Back in 2009, I lost my daughter. She was 8 days old. She passed away from infant pneumonia. And my life pretty much took a downturn. It was probably 2 months after that I lost my job. And I was broke. I was within about a day or two from being evicted before a friend helped me out. Him and his wife moved in with me at the time. And I was just really stumbling. I didn't have anything, to keep me focused. My depression was off the fucking charts. It was just a really, really dark bad time in my life. I'll be honest, there was quite a few days I thought about killing myself. And it was probably early 2010. I traded my dad. I had I had a Buick Regal. No, Riviera, excuse me. Buick Riviera, one of the supercharged ones where they were all smoothed out. I had that, and I had this. At the time, it was pretty nice. 97 GMC extended cab Sierra. And my dad had this truck. At the time, this truck was solar yellow, 3.9 liter, 5-speed. Well, it wasn't running right. It had been to the dealer probably 3 or 4 times, and they kept giving him the runaround, and they could never fix it. They could never tell him what was wrong with it. So it sat in front of his house. And he never drove it. Well, I didn't need 2 cars at the time, because it was just me. So I traded my dad my 97 GMC for this truck. Well, I took it home and I screwed around with it. And within about a week or so, I had it running right. And I drove it for a couple weeks. And I ended up, in between there, moving in, renting a different apartment in my hometown. Because I'd been living in this other town, North Star, which was like 20 miles away from where I was working and, where my family lived and everything. And I couldn't, the commute at the time was just killing me. Because that was back when gas was like $3 a gallon, $4 a gallon. And so moving into town was, was going to help me out a lot. So I moved in with my friend Dan, and I still had this truck, and I was still really, really depressed, and I just wasn't doing good. So I got in. I drove it for. I think I drove this truck for a week. I think it was about a week I drove this truck when it was running perfect. This thing was running. It only had 60,000 miles on it. Drove great, rode great. It was a nice truck. Well, I got to work one day, and it was leaking coolant underneath of it. Freeze plug was leaking between the transmission and the engine. Well, I ended up pulling the engine out, and next thing I know, I'm in a full-blown engine swap, paint, full chassis rebuild, everything. I had this truck completely stripped down to just a bare frame with a cab setting on it. Um, but anyways, this project, for the lack of a better term, saved me. It saved my life. It gave me something to do. It gave me something to focus on. When things got really bad, I would come out and I would work on this truck. I'd be out working on this truck at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep and my mind was going 100 miles an hour, and I just had to do something. And I mean, this truck's gone through a couple versions now, a couple different swaps, and but the entire time I've had this truck now, all 8 years, this truck has been more than a truck to me. This truck has been I joke around on Facebook and I call it my race truck therapy. But for real, that's really what it is. This truck has been my therapy. This truck has been my escape. It has been my something to focus on. It's been my fucking lifesaver. So the people that ask me, are you going to sell this truck? I'm never going to sell this fucking truck. I don't care what happens to it. If I wreck it, if I blow it up, I will fucking rebuild it. I will fix it. I will have it running. It will be done. Maybe not as fast as some people like. Not as fast as I would like. But in some ways, I don't have the control of that. I wish people would understand that or could understand that. I know they can't. So, I mean, it is what it is. Can't make everybody happy, and I'm not going to try. But the project is continuing. I do plan videos. I've got ideas for videos. I'm going to try to not fill the channel with videos of the new car. I might make a separate channel for that. But I do post updates on my website because that doesn't take nearly as much of work, and I can do that. But yeah, I just wanted to get that out there. I know some people don't like it when, YouTubers talk about their personal lives and shit, but it is what it is. This truck is truly my race truck therapy. So I promise if you stick around, there'll be content. It'll be worth it. I got a pile of parts sitting in my corner of my living room to go onto this thing, so alrighty, if you stuck around this far, I appreciate it. So if you want to see more of my videos, scroll down below. If you want to see more in the future, click subscribe. Thank you.